Good morning, friends. You are most welcome to Think Eyes channel. Today we are going to discuss Practicing Anthropology by MAAN IGNOU, and our topic is Capacity Development. Let us begin the topic. First, we will discuss introduction part, then we will discuss capacity development, then we will discuss history of capacity development, in which we will discuss three levels of capacity development. Then we will discuss practicing anthropologist and capacity development and role played by anthropologist in capacity development. After that we will discuss elements of capacity development and overall we will discuss summary part. Learning objective was after going through this unit you will be able to understand what capacity development is, learn about the role played by anthropologist in capacity development, learn about different skills as part of capacity development and understand how capacity development is important in the different tasks taken up by practicing anthropologists. Introduction part. Individuals possesses capacities in the form of knowledge, skills and attitudes. In simple terms, an individual's capacity is his potential to perform. It refers to his ability to successfully apply his skills and resources to accomplish the goals and thus satisfy his clients' stakeholders' expectation. Capacity represents the potential for using resources effectively and maintaining gains in performance with gradually reduced levels of external support. Lafond and Brown, 2003. Capacity is the ability of people, organization and society as a whole to manage their affairs successfully. OECD 2006. In a nutshell, capacity is the ability of a human system to perform, sustain itself and self-renew. In this lesson, it is this capacity and its development which we will learn about in order to understand how practitioners with anthropological knowledge can perform tasks to bring about positive changes in people, institutes, associations, corporations, nations, and society as a whole. Next heading is capacity development. The aim of capacity development is to improve the potential performance of an individual or an organization. Capacity development is literally change the deals in capacity over time. It is important to recognize that capacity development is in that sense an endogenous and continuous or spontaneous process. The capacity of an individual always changes or develops due to its contact with its surroundings as a environment in which the capacity grows is never motionless. This evolution is either for good or bad. Therefore, it is necessary that capacity development should be built to do away with hindrances which restrain individuals, institutions, and nations from achieving their progressive objectives. In the process, it also improves the capabilities which will permit them to attain considerable and viable outcomes. In the sphere of research and development, capacity development is often equated with training activities and workshops. In management schools, capacity development often means organizational development. Harrison 1994. In non-governmental and voluntary service organization (NGO and VSOs), capacity development is often associated with the empowerment of individuals and grassroots organizations. AID 1997, Fals Borda and Rahman 1991. At the United Nations and the World Bank, capacity development typically refers to improving national institutions to improve governance and economic management. Picciotto and Wiesner 1998. Peter Morgan 1997 has defined capacity development as the process by which individuals, groups and organizations improve their ability to carry out their functions and achieve desired results over time. This definition highlights two important points. First, that capacity development is largely an internal process of growth and development, and second, that capacity development efforts should be results oriented. The process of capacity development has the following common features. First, capacity development is an ongoing process. Second, Capacity development aims to increase the ability of the individual or organization to carry out his functions and achieve his objectives. Third, capacity development increases the ability of an individual or organization to learn and solve problems. Fourth, capacity development includes creating the ability to deal with the issues of today and also to remain relevant in the future. Capacity development is built and assisted by advisors, specialists, guides, counselors, etc., who act as external actors to their patrons. There are other personnel who too are involved in such work. For example, supervisors, project squad representatives, field officials, and such other professionals who are present in organizations run by the public or the private sectors. Capacity development as an aid, a support tool possesses considerable strength and is an asset. History of capacity development. Capacity development is capacity development as a notion or concept and also as an experiment or empirical procedure has been created and upgraded continuously for better performance. Below we read through a couple of stages which talk about its uninterrupted growth and usability. The era of technical cooperation. The term capacity development, as used today, has its origin in the field of technical assistance and development cooperation during the 1950s and 1960s. Financial resources, physical resources, and skills were transferred to poor countries in a supply driven model of capacity development. The focus was on the supply of inputs and the transfer of technology from industrial countries to less developed areas. Hence, from the 1950s and 1990s, capacity development efforts focused on training individuals, building facilities, and infrastructure and organizational development. Let us repeat this topic: the era of technical cooperation. The term capacity development as used today has its origin in the field of technical assistance and development cooperation. During the 1950s and 1960s, financial resources, physical resources, and skills were transferred to poor countries in a supply driven model of capacity development. The focus was on the supply of inputs and the transfer of technology from industrial countries to less developed areas. Hence, from the 1950s to the 1990s, capacity development efforts focuses on training individuals, building facilities and infrastructure, and organizational development. Second heading is the era of the management consultant. The concept of capacity development started to take shape in the beginning of 1990s but finally got a footing in the development schema of things after the Paris Declaration on Aid Effectiveness held in 2005. This necessitated the establishment of efficient assistance at a heightened and superior plane in order to toughen governance and upgrade the operation related to development in developing nations. From 1990s till now, capacity development is carried on in the economic, social and political structures at the national level. It was and is now undertaken in research and development organization, academia, public sector governance, regulatory and monitoring activities. Capacity development has been identified as the single most important UNDP services and is particularly relevant to the needs of the least developed countries LDCs. The three level of capacity development: individual, that is micro level; institutional or organizational, community, NGO, that is meso level; societal, that is macro level. Individual, micro level. At an individual level, capacity development works as a recurrent process which engages in learning, increasing one's knowledge and using them when chance allows. Second is institutional, organizational, community, NGO, meso level. Capacity development at institutional level involves building on existing capacities, encouraging existing institutions to grow. Third is societal, that is macro level. Society as a complete entity is also utilized through its capacities to bring about changes. This involvement promotes varied development, for example, policy development schemes where openings are created for people as part of the private and public sector in order to contribute their capacities to maximum. Any holistic approach to capacity development should address all the above three levels. Practicing anthropologist and capacity development. Capacity development, as is evident from the above discussion, is a result oriented problem solving tool. For a practicing anthropologist who is out there in different fields solving problems, capacity development becomes an important and integral requisite. From the perspective of practitioners, we will use the term practitioner for the practicing anthropologist often in the lesson. It is very important to understand what capacity is all about and what its development entails. The holism pursued the holism pursued by practitioners point them towards a profile of methods, concepts, and competencies that is not limited to certain organizations or sectors. A coherent and holistic professional domain should be discussed to explore the different aspects of the capacity development. Role